Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It is 2022. I am Lily. I'm She Got Faith, your self love advocate. Happy New Year. We have made it to 2022, y'all. My goodness. Let me start off by saying I have been terribly sick. So I do sound congested, but I'm actually a lot better than I have been within the last week. I went and got tested for COVID last Monday. It came back negative, but yeah, I think it was false. So I'm definitely gonna make sure I get another test done. But I've been quarantined, taking care of me, sleeping a lot, trying to get better so I can definitely have this episode. I did not want to miss um the first Monday of 2022. So I definitely was trying to get better just so I can record for you all. I'm actually recording this on January 1st. I slept great. I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna do this episode, y'all. So I'm here and we're gonna get through it. And hopefully by next week I won't sound as hoarse and I'll just be 1,000 times better. I'm definitely doing what I need to do to get there. But yes, happy new year, happy new year. Um First of all, we just gotta say rest in peace, Betty White. My goodness. It a lot of us just didn't expect her to ever pass. Like she was it. It's Betty White. But and I don't know why 2021 did us like that. Like coming into 2021, we lost Cicely Tyson and then leaving, we lost Betty White. How? How? Like two phenomenal women who lived a like a long time. So definitely rest in peace. We're sending her family, her fans, her friends, everybody, um, love and peace. And I'm sure that's not the way we wanted to bring in 2022. But me, I am a believer in just addressing how you feel, and then let's see how we can be our better selves in the present moment. So definitely rest in peace to Betty White. But happy New Year to all my listeners, to all my faithers, to just everybody. It has been a journey to get here, and the fact that we're here truly means that we're supposed to be here. We have endured a lot, a lot in the last couple of years. This is literally season 3 of the pandemic. Like, yeah, we are literally in season 3. I hope this one of them game shows that don't last too long, too much longer. We ain't trying to be like Law and Order and have 22 seasons, 23, whatever they got. So, like I said earlier, I've been sick. So y'all, please just be safe out there. I'm not here to tell you to be vaccinated, not vaccinated, get the booster, don't get the booster. I don't care about none of that. All of that is a personal choice, in my opinion. All I'm saying is be safe, be careful. If you are getting these rapid tests, you might want to think about getting more than one just to make sure. Like I said, I came out negative, but y'all, I have been literally on bed rest. This is day 6 now. And if you catch the replay on YouTube, you see I'm not even in the place I normally record. I'm actually in my house with my dog. So if they start barking, forgive me, y'all, because that's who I brought the new year in with, me and my 2 dogs. Because, y'all, I have been sick. So drinking a lot of tea. I even got some hot water with ginger, lemon, honey, and cayenne pepper in this cup right here. Been drinking a lot of water. I ate for the first time at like 3 o'clock this morning. Let me tell y'all that real quick. I took hours to clean my house yesterday because, like I said, I was sick, so I couldn't get it done as fast as I wanted. I was just letting my body rest. So, like, if I was doing too much, I was just listening to my body and what it needed. But I did want my house to be clean, so I was battling that. But nevertheless, I pretty much spent all day cleaning. Well, I did take like a 5-hour nap, but while I was up, I was pretty much cleaning. I got done cleaning right at like 11:40. Okay, so sat on the couch, brought the new year in. I was journaling, I was reflecting, I was in my planner, and just doing some reflecting because I didn't have nothing else to do. So brought in the New Year's with my dogs. They was asleep, but I was journaling, and I was like, all right, well, it's past the New Year, so I made it. I'm gonna go lay in the bed. So I go lay in the bed, and I really want to watch nothing particular. But fun fact about me, I love dinosaurs. So like the Jurassic Park movies are like my favorite. They literally put me to sleep. So I'm like, well, I just put on my Jurassic Park and watch this, I fall asleep. About 3 a.m. I go in there and I'm like, oh man, I'm hungry. And I had ordered a pizza that day. Mind you, I have not been eating, and pizza wasn't the best thing, but it was New Year's, and I was like, well, maybe if I get hungry, at least I can indulge in something I like. So about 3 a.m., mind you, I had probably ordered the pizza like at 7. So I had to reheat the pizza, and I was like, I think I'm hungry enough. I'm going to eat it. Yeah. So I eat Thomas St. Louis. We're known for our St. Louis side pizza, so that's what I ordered. And I usually, with whatever pizza I order, I always order a side of buffalo sauce. I like to dip it in there. I don't know if that's nasty. It's delicious to me. But yeah, go in there. I eat the pizza. I'm like, yeah, I ate. I'm excited. Woo woo. Like I feel full. I haven't felt full in a week. I spilled the buffalo sauce all over my kitchen floor. And I just looked at it. I was like, really, y'all? Like, really, Lisa? You just spent hours cleaning while you was sick and you spilled it on your clean floor. Yeah, I was so mad. Say like 3 o'clock this morning, I was cleaning up buffalo sauce on my kitchen in true Lisa fashion, because why not bring in 2022 like that? So, fun fact about me, I'm clumsy. I'm always falling, dropping something. So yeah. Anyways, let's get to picking our card. So today I'm going to be picking 2 cards from the Power Thoughts card deck by Louise Hay, and then the Fifth Agreement by Don Ruiz. So I'm gonna start off with the Power Thoughts card. Okay. I balance my masculine and feminine side. The masculine and feminine parts of me are in perfect balance and harmony. I am at peace and all is well. Yes, I like that. I'm at peace and all is well. Let's look at this. The Fifth Agreement by Don Ruiz. That one fell out. Let me see if my nails will let me pick it up. My nails won't. We'll just pick this one. What message am I delivering to myself? When I deliver truth and love to myself, I'm happier, and just by being happier, the people around me benefit. My effort is really for everyone because my joy, my happiness, and my heavens are contagious. Wow, I really like that. I like both of these. They're a little different than what I normally pick, which you could tell in my tone, because normally I'm like, wow, that's so good. It fits with what we're talking about today. So these are definitely different. um, this is probably the first time on this show that I've picked cards that don't really resonate with me at the moment, which is good because we need the first time to see that. So let's start with the Power Thoughts, the Power Thought deck. I balance my masculine and feminine side. The masculine and feminine parts of me are perfect balance and harmony. I am at peace and all is well. That is one of my goals, is to be at peace, and definitely trying to find that balance in my energies and just my balance and everything around. And I really hope 2022 brings that in to like not perspective, but I hope that comes alive. That like I finally find that balance in my life. And then the other one, what message am I delivering to myself? Honestly, 2022 is definitely going to be personal to me. What message am I delivering to myself? So I had a friend yesterday who, she knows I have been sick, and she sometimes works for me in my business for Healing She Got Faith. She's a fellow social worker, and she knows that I have been extremely sick. Well, while I was sick, I had got an order on my website, and she had just got done telling me, like, let me know what you need. I'll get whatever you need. Just let me know. I'm here to help you. And so, like, literally hours later, I was like, I'm gonna need you. Like, I need to get these deliveries out, but I can't. Like, I'm sick. I don't want to get nobody sick. Yeah, she literally went to my building and made runs around the city just for me. And so, with that, like, she really set the standard for me in the sense of, yo, like, we not we not taking nothing less than that healing and love energy, because she didn't have to do that, but she knew I've been sick and she literally did that. And this card says, when I deliver truth and love to myself, I'm happier, and just by being happier, the people around me benefit. Like, I really believe my friend felt that energy because she had seen me go through healing. She had seen me, we've known each other probably about 8 years at this point, and she had seen me just grow into this person who's very loving. And literally, because I love myself, like, she wants to love on me, and vice versa. My effort is really for everyone, because my joy, my happiness, and my heaven are contagious. That is something I've always said too. Like, I am, a lot of stuff that I go through is not necessarily for me, but it's definitely like for the people around me, and it's definitely for just life lessons for anybody that comes into contact with me. So she set the standard for my 2022. If you're not coming with that energy, it's a no for me. But definitely, like, we're healing, we're growing, we're learning, we're setting boundaries this year. So definitely that is the move for 2022. Ooh. So yes, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about our new series. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So there was a card that fell while I was reading the card, and it was from the Fifth Amendment. It said, doubt is a powerful tool. Doubt challenges my beliefs and breaks the spell of all the lies and superstitions that control my world. I use doubt to recover faith in myself, to take my power back, and from every superstition I believe in, and return that power to myself. Okay, so I do want to talk about this card because this is something I've been talking about in therapy. Like, doubt is such a powerful tool. I have been a self doubter pretty much all my life. So, and um it has just broken me in many ways, in many situations, in many scenarios. Like, it has definitely just broken me down, and it does challenge my beliefs, and it challenges, like, all the lies and superstitions that control, but when I doubt now, I definitely try to check myself, and I definitely try to do research, and I do like a lot of inner work. And so for me, I'm trying to turn that doubt around, and I'm trying to give that power back to myself, like the card says. I'm actually working through this in therapy. So I had a therapist. She was really, really great, but she had some personal issues going on. So I had to switch therapists. And I'm trying to pick up where I left off, because one of the last things that me and my old therapist were talking about was that doubt. Because doubt in my life, doubt and worthiness were going hand in hand. So we were trying to limit that self doubt to get that self worth. So that card fell out for a reason. I'm glad I picked it up and read it to you, because it definitely resonates with me. The other two really didn't resonate with me, but I'm glad I got to see that. So now on to the show. So we are in our second series. This is episode 8, y'all. We have made it. We have made it. I'm so excited. Um, so the second series is called Traveling Heals the Soul, which, if you have or have not got my book, Traveling Heals the Soul is chapter 2 in my book. Everyone Has a Story. You can get a copy at healingshegotfaith.org. I will sign it for you. And chapter 2 is called Traveling Heals the Soul. And in this chapter, I go through what traveling has done to my life. So today's episode is called Why Travel? So before we get into traveling and stuff, because I'm not going to tell you the whole chapter because I want you to read the book, y'all. So healingshegotfaith.org. Go ahead and get your signed copy. So before we start, I want you to imagine your favorite place. I want you to provide all the details. What makes you love this place? Okay. What is it? So I'm gonna tell you mine. Mine is the beach. I love the beach. I love the clear water, the sand, the sun. Waves just do something to me. Like I'm definitely a mermaid in real life. Like that's definitely who I am. Yeah. So my favorite place is the beach. I love water. Even if I'm not at a beach and I go to like a river or a creek or like just to hear water puts me in a different perspective. So I'm definitely a water girl, and I'm definitely that person that just I'm okay with being around water. I love the beach. I thoroughly enjoy it. Um when I was living in New York, I had even went to the beaches. Now I've never really swam in the beach in New York because it's just that's not the type of beach I want to swim in. But I've definitely just sat by the water and listened to the waves and enjoyed the beach sands, enjoyed the people, just enjoy. I just get a lot. I get a lot of healing from the water. I get a lot of answers and great alone time and things of that nature when I go to the beach. So, I want you to imagine that favorite place, and I want you to just think about why it's your favorite place, and I want you to think about why um that's your chosen place. Okay, so this leads me into traveling. So I would have never known that I love the beach if I would have never traveled. I didn't live. I grew up in Missouri. Like we don't have beaches. We just have the Mississippi River. Okay, which is quite disgusting. But I love going down to the riverfront, which is pretty popular in most cities that I go to that have the Mississippi River run through them. There's always a riverfront. It's pretty nice. So if I'm in a place like Missouri, I'll usually find a riverfront, go and sit down. And it's usually a pretty active, pretty beautiful place to go to. So for me, it gives me that time to get away, and it gives me that time to really know, clarification or I'm sitting at, things of that nature. However, I would have never known I love the beach unless I had traveled. I was blessed and lucky because even though my parents didn't have a lot while I was growing up, they did allow us to travel a lot. And I do remember going to Florida quite often. And I do remember going to the beach and experiencing the boardwalks. Like we would go to Florida, we would go to New Jersey, of course, New York, and we experienced the ocean. We experienced beach activities and things of that nature. So I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I learned at a very young age I like to travel. So, one of the things as I've gotten older is that I realized was when I travel, it puts me in a position to where I cannot be busy. And why is this important? It is important because I am a person who I just cannot sit down. It takes a lot for me to sit down and be still. Now, mind you, on this healing journey, I'm learning that has been part of my healing process. That has been part of my process to learn to listen to my body and to listen to my needs. My whole goal is I want to create a place that I do not have to run away from, but a place that I feel so comfortable. And then when I travel, it's just it's a necessity. It's not a necessity, right? Because right now traveling is a necessity for me because I have to get away. I need that time to just think and get in a new environment. But my goal is to create so much peace within my life currently that traveling is just something extra. It is something that I love to do, but it's definitely something like y'all. My whole goal is every month I want to travel somewhere, international or not, and then like once a year, I want to get up to 2 weeks to where I just have a full vacation, not doing nothing. I don't want to bring my laptop, nothing like that. So, though that's my goal that I'm working up to. Uh Last year I didn't travel every month. The second half of 2021 I did travel almost every month, especially towards the end, like pretty much from September to December I was traveling a lot. So, um yeah, actually I traveled a lot. I definitely did. But one of the reasons why I can sit down while I'm traveling is because I don't know the areas. I have to be conscious of what's around me. There's a lot of trust that goes into traveling. You have to trust the pilots. You have to trust the leaders on the excursion. You have to trust the tour guides. You have to trust the resorts. There's a lot of trust. And because I don't know the area, I can't commit to anything. So typically, when I'm at home, I'm committing to going here, I'm committing to going there, I'm committing to doing this, I'm committing to doing that. Well, when I travel, I can't commit to do that because I don't know what I'm doing. And of course, typically people pre schedule excursions and of course, like that. But still, I'm trusting the system and I'm trusting the people in charge to lead me to the places that I'm trying to go. It's not like I'm running anything. I'm just a person there. Like I'm just a person paying to get the experience, right? The people that are typically leading that stuff, do that stuff every day, have grown up in that area, have been there for years, and they can do this in their sleep if they wanted to, right? I can't do that. I'm trying to get the experience. I'm trying to learn something new. I'm trying to learn the history. Traveling has taught me that this world does not revolve around me. I am so small in this big old earth. And if you want to take it further in this big old galaxy, like universe, I am so small. I am like a little speck of rice. And I love going to different countries and different states and learn the different cultures, trying new things, stepping out my comfort zone. See, where I'm at right now, like, and where I live at, I'm very comfortable. I can go out. I know a lot of people. Um, like I said, I say yes to everything. But when I'm out the country, I get that rest that my body has been needing. Like I don't feel pressure to stay out late at night. I don't feel pressure to wake up early in the morning. The day is mine. The day belongs to me. I get to pick and choose what I want to do, what I don't want to do, which is so healthy for me because a lot of times when I'm at home, I just feel pressured to saying yes to things and to doing things. And um, I feel like the only way to be successful is to have a routine. And then I beat myself up if the routine gets broken. Like, so when I travel, I don't have those pressures. Like the only pressure I have when I travel is to experience something new and get rest, which is why I travel. Like honestly, there's just a sense of peace that I get, and there's a sense of just overwhelming joy that my body is looking for, my soul is looking for. On the other hand, though, a lot of times I can tell I need a vacation when I can't really answer questions. So it'd be like, well, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to eat? I don't know. Because at this point, my body is telling me we need a new trajectory. We need a new environment to figure out which way are we going? Are we going left? Or are we going right? Are we writing this or are we not writing this? Are we going to meet with this person or are we not going to meet with this person? So, and that's typically me being overwhelmed. That's blah, 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 typically my anxiety taking over, right? So I give myself that break, like, okay, well, let me go recharge. Let me just get a new environment, new air. Maybe I'm gonna be with complete strangers. Maybe I'm gonna be with a cousin. Maybe I'm gonna be with my family. But I need that new environment and new energy to recharge myself because our bodies are like batteries. We do need to be recharged. We literally operate just like our phones. Like just like you can run your phone until it dry till it dies, but you get it goes from the green, yellow to red, and once you hit the red, like you in the danger zone. So a lot of times my body starts to get in that danger zone when it's like, okay, Lisa, like we not really thinking straight. We need to go ahead and take a break and recharge ourselves. And that can be a 7 day trip, that could be a 2 to 3 day trip. Really doesn't matter. It's just kind of one of them things that you have to figure out what works for you. So we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, I am going to talk to you about my latest trip to Puerto Rico. Welcome back to the Healer She Got Faith show. So, in the first week of December, I went to Puerto Rico. Now, if you don't know, my mother's Puerto Rican, my father is Italian and Irish, okay? My mother was one of 12 and she never been to Puerto Rico. I have been trying to get to Puerto Rico since I was 17 years old. And literally every time I've booked, every time I've planned, every time I have tried to get to Puerto Rico, something has always stopped me. So in 2021, I was talking to my cousin, which we have traveled together. We've been to DC. She was my rock in New York. I mean, she was my rock in St. Louis too. Like that is my heart right there. We've been to Turks and Caicos. And for her birthday, she was like, "Hey, do you want to go to Puerto Rico?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "But every time I plan, something happens." And she was like, "Well, nothing's gonna happen. Let's just plan it." So we planned it back in August, I want to say. Either August or September, somewhere around there. Booked the tickets. Then I booked the hotel. And I didn't tell anybody that I was going to Puerto Rico. I'm like, nothing is gonna mess this up. I'm gonna kind of put this on the calendar, put it on the back burner. I'm not really gonna think about it. I'd be on TikTok looking for like things to do. I'd be on Pinterest, just kind of texting her back and forth, like, okay, like these are some of the things. And so we were staying in the tourist part of Puerto Rico. So we were right off of Isa Verde Beach. My hotel was right across the street. I literally had a water view. It was absolutely beautiful, which we didn't even choose a water view room. It just so happened to be open and they put us in there. I was actually kind of sad because I was like, oh man, we're gonna get a view looking at the freaking highway. But we got there early and they had a room available and it was a water view. So yes, I was so thankful for that. So we did all the touristy stuff. We went to the Bacardi, we went to the rainforest, of course we went to the beach. We ate at so many restaurants. But one of the things that we did do was we released some of my mom's ashes at the beach and at the rainforest. And this was so important to me because I had been planning to go to Puerto Rico with my mom for years. And I wanted to gift her that. I wanted to give her that opportunity to go to New York, but she passed before I could do that. So releasing her ashes was something that I wanted to do. Right after she died, I tried to get to Puerto Rico and it just was not happening like whatsoever. So my main focus to get there was to really learn about the island, to kind of learn where I come from. I do still have family members out there, so to learn, mind you, I don't speak Spanish, so um learning, like trying to learn like where my ancestors come from, where some traditions come from, how my grandparents grew up, like really wanting to know what was life back then, what does that look like, how is it, but then I really just want to know like where I come from. So that has been something that I've kind of always struggled with my whole life, like where do I come from. On both sides of my family, nobody really knows the true authentic history on either side, so it's really hard. Like I think we finally got a family tree going this year, but like I don't think it goes past my great grandparents, maybe. So it's really hard to know like where I come from, like the lineage, all that. So Puerto Rico was always personal to me. This was probably one of the most peaceful vacations I've ever had. Like, I didn't bring my computer, y'all. That is so big. Like, I usually bring my laptop everywhere with me. The only thing I brought was an iPad. I didn't do no work on the iPad. I literally just played a game. I'm not even a games person, but I found some games that I actually love. I still play them to this day. And I just played on my iPad. Every morning we got up and had breakfast, looked at the beach, walked up and down. We went to Old San Juan like almost every day. Like, we could probably give the tours at Old San Juan. That's how much we had been, which was pretty cool. I just felt at home. I felt like I belonged there. But and I say this because a lot of people say, "Oh, you always go on vacation and you always have a good time," and which I do. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. Each vacation gives me something different, and I do look at the positive versus the negative. Um, Typically, if I travel, it's always going to be a good time just because it's what I choose to have. I've been lucky that I haven't really had an experience to where, like, oh, I went here and it was terrible. Typically, my vacations are pretty much like healing, resting, really good. But again, that's what I go looking for. So that, again, I do take responsibility for that. Like, yeah, they're gonna be good because I want them to be good. I'm not gonna spend all this money to for it not to be good. Just saying. But I say all that to say, I had traveled to Jamaica. I had traveled to Turks and Caicos prior to going to Puerto Rico, and I bring them up because they're all part of the Caribbean. And the first time I ever went to the Caribbean was in Turks and Caicos, and I was like, I just feel like I belong here. Like, I really feel like I belong on an island. Like, I just feel at home. I went to Jamaica, had a very strong family sense, had a very strong sense of belonging. Then when I got to Puerto Rico, I was like, man, I just feel at home. Like, I feel like this is where I'm at. Like, I'm connecting to the roots of everything. And that was so powerful for me because when I came back, I was really recharged. Like, I had business ideas, I had sleep, I felt so good. Typically, when I'm in the Caribbean, either the food is so much fresher, so I feel refreshed. Like, I lose weight from all the walking and just eating better, drinking a lot more water. Just, I don't know, it I just feel more healthier. I just feel like my skin glows differently. My freckles pop differently. So, um, when I was in Puerto Rico, I just was like, wow, I really made it here and I feel at home. Like, it's so beautiful. Like, the Caribbean in itself is just a beautiful creation. And then to go to Puerto Rico where I know I have history here, um it put me in a space of like, wow, like I finally made it. Like, this is going to grow me because I want it to grow me. I want it to be there. I want it, and it took me so long, and I almost appreciated, let me say it now, I appreciated how long it took. And let me tell you something, like, people are like, why did it take you so long? And none of that matters because I didn't make it, but I made it in 2021 during a really hard year where, like, too many people can't really say that it was a really good year. Like, 2021 was hard, but I almost feel like 2021 was the year of me discovering like everything I've been looking for, or at least my eyes being open to everything that I've been looking for, which is so crazy to think to me, because literally I just had to be patient and allow life to just kind of show me where I was going. And that is why I travel. That is why I travel, because when I travel, I get those new perspectives. I get that sense of belonging. I get that sense of accomplishment. I can sit down and give myself flowers because I have the opportunity to sit down and not be committed to anything else. While I'm working on boundaries and while I'm working on not being there for everybody else, and while I'm constantly reminding myself, like, you're really not Wonder Woman. Like, I know you done told yourself you're Wonder Woman, but you're really not. You should probably relax. That doesn't stop the old habits from sneaking up and coming in. Okay. So we gonna take a break and we gonna come back. We gonna continue talking on why you should travel. Welcome back to the Healing She Got Faith show. It is Lily, or She Got Faith, your self love advocate. So before we left, I was talking about Puerto Rico and why I freaking travel, y'all. Definitely get your passports if you don't. You do not need a passport to go to Puerto Rico. It is a territory of the United States if you did not know that. But you do not, that is a place that is absolutely beautiful that you can actually travel to without your passport. But I would suggest go ahead and get that passport, get you some stamps. You deserve it. See the world. I think for me, learning different. Okay, so let me back up. So with traveling, I learned a lot of different cultures, and ever since things have came to light in this country, and people really feel like we're the best, and really feel like, despite all the issues we have going on in this country, we truly are the best. I'm not gonna say I agree with that. Um, there are people who are real diehards of like, yeah, we are the best country. Everybody has problems, all out, whatever. What I am gonna say though is we have a very westernized culture, and with that, we have a very westernized way of thinking. When I go to other countries, I see different perspectives and I see different cultures, and I honestly can tell and see the difference than what I see in the country, and it get in this country, and it gives me so much relief. Even though Puerto Rico is part of the United States, they have a very unique, and that's a nice way to put it, relationship. And going there and just see, like, I promise, the Caribbean way of living has cracked the code. Like, don't get me wrong, I know a lot of the Caribbean islands have a lot of issues. We can go into all the issues. But what I'm saying is their daily, day-to-day life, their perspectives, the how they view the world, they've cracked the code. I promise, I stand on that. I believe in that. I have gone to multiple different countries in the Caribbean and have talked to locals, and just their perspective. Like, I live in Paris, and these are locals. These aren't like tour guides that I'm paying. Like, these are locals. Like, I'm a community social worker, so I'm going to go find the communities, y'all. Like, that's just what I'm gonna do. But also too, I'm a people person. Like, you hear my voice, more than likely you're gonna talk to me. It's like that, and at home, it's gonna be like that wherever I travel. Like, people are like, "Oh, I like your accent," and then it's always a conversation starter. So I enjoy seeing the different perspectives. Another place that I've traveled to that I really enjoyed was Italy. Italy was absolutely beautiful. And the people, the fashion, the talking again, um, just their way of life. So why I travel is again that reminder of how small I actually am in this big world, and just a different perspective. Like, you can talk about politics and really get a different perspective from a different country's point of view. And, because we come from a place where everybody's like, oh, America is the greatest, America is this, America is that. And then you go to these other countries and you really hear what people are saying about us in a good and a bad way. You know, I've heard it from the best of both worlds, but you do get people who talk to you and ask you really good things. You know, the most interesting thing about the United States is that people can go to New York and never know anything about Missouri. People can go to California and never know anything about Oregon. People can go to Maine and never know anything about Texas. And so each state has their own reputation, has their own way of thinking. And we know that because we live in the United States. Cool. But when I've traveled and I've talked to people, they find that interesting, like, oh, well, I've been to New York, but I didn't realize X, Y, and Z. Or, you know, it's really cool when I travel and I tell people I'm from Missouri, and they're like, oh, St. Louis, you know, Nelly, you know, Mike Brown, Ferguson. And I'm like, yeah, St. Louis. And it's really cool. You know, when I was in Puerto Rico, I had asked one of my tour guides in Old San Juan. I did a sunset walk in Old San Juan, and he was like, "Oh, have you heard of St. Louis?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's where I'm from, actually." He was like, "Yeah, I was like 8 years old, but I had went to the Arch," and he was like, "Yeah, I really like St. Louis." He was like, "I mean, it's probably been over 20 years, but I really enjoy it," which that was so cool. And then while I was on the tour to the rainforest, my cousin was in the back of the line. I was in the front exploring, and she was like, Lisa. And it was a lady on the tour who had just graduated from Wash U, which is a university out here, which I um graduated from the rival St. Louis University and for my grad school. But I was like, oh yeah, I took classes up at Wash U too. And she was like, yeah, I love St. Louis and I live in New York. I was like, yeah, I was born in New York, raised in St. Louis, moved to New York, and I'm back in St. Louis. And she was like, yeah, I forgot where she was from, but she moved to St. Louis for school and then she was in New York. And it's really cool because, like, again, like, the world is so big but so small, but it's ironic when you find situations like that. But then also too, like, hearing her perspective, like, she moved somewhere else to move to St. Louis and move to New York, where I've experienced both St. Louis and New York, and we had two different totally perspectives, but we were also in Puerto Rico at the exact same time. Like, that was beautiful. While we was on the tour, I also met a family from Trinidad, and that was really cool because I got to learn about their culture. I got to learn about, you know, where they're from, ask them questions. We laughed and giggled and whatnot. So it was really cool. Traveling does that to me, like, because of traveling, that's where, like, my soul searching really started, and that's where my healing really upped itself. I was at, like, when I started really traveling, I was really just looking for answers. I was really looking for, like, a new experience. And honestly, now that I'm saying it out loud, if you read the book and you read about my very first time traveling out the country, I kind of was just doing something. And I was actually supposed to be doing this trip with a friend who ended up passing away. And so I felt like I had to go in his memory. But really, I was going to fulfill something, you know. And I think I was too young to really understand. I was in my early 20s and in college. I think I was just too young and too immature to really understand what I was doing, because one thing people don't know about me is, like, majority of my life I felt so empty. Like, I have just felt empty. Like, I'm this phenomenal person. I'm fun, I'm laughing, but I struggle with depression and anxiety. And I've just felt empty and lonely. And a lot of people just don't get that. Like, you ask people, they're like, oh, you have a lot of friends, and oh, you have a great support system, which, don't get me wrong, I have a phenomenal support system. And yes, I do have a lot of friends. But it still gets very lonely. And if you listen to the episode last week, episode 7, where I talked about healing can be very lonely. Even though you have people, it can be very lonely because of what you're going through, because of what you're experiencing. It can be very lonely. And I think I've kind of been experiencing that for the last couple years. Like, yes, I have all these experiences. Yes, I have all these people. And yes, I don't get me wrong, y'all. I am on the verge of really disciplining myself to appreciate the people who are here and appreciate the experiences I do have, because I do like that. I need to practice more gratitude. But there's always been this emptiness. And when I really, really, really started traveling, that emptiness started to be fulfilled. Now, it's not at 100%, but it started to be fulfilled. And I started to realize my purpose in life. And along with the grief and along with the hurt and pain that I had been experiencing, I started to realize that when I travel, because my eyes are being opened, fulfillment is coming in, because I'm not only just practicing habits and things that I know, but I'm learning new things. Excuse me. And so that is part of why I travel. It gives me rest, it gives me purpose, and it gives me fulfillment. And it's fun. It's absolutely fun. Like, why wouldn't you want to explore this world, y'all? Like, I don't understand. Like, when people say they don't want to travel, I don't get it. I don't know if I ever get it, because all I want to do is travel. Okay. So when we come back, we're going to wrap up this episode on why we should travel. Welcome back to the Healing She Got Faith show. Woo, woo, woo. Happy New Year. If you are just joining us, we are actually wrapping up episode 8, which is the start of a new series, Traveling Heals the Soul. Today's episode is titled Why Travel? So I've kind of just been going through why I travel, what it does, things I've learned, and just giving like a different perspective on traveling. So I think everybody should travel. I understand that I have a unique situation in life and I have been able to travel, and not everybody gets that opportunity. But what I will say is, I think everybody owes it to themselves to just travel, even if it's not out the country, but just travel to a different state, find a resort, find a cabin, whatever it is. Like, think back to earlier in the episode when I asked you to envision your place. Like, I have friends who love cabin in the woods. I have friends who love mountains, have friends that love beaches. I have friends that like hiking. I have friends who love the city life. So think what fulfills you and what excites you. For the first time I experienced the desert, I went to Arizona back in November, and that was really good. So that was really different. I was actually nervous. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but yeah, I ended up loving it. I got to hike in the desert. I got to ride a horse in the desert, which was absolutely beautiful. And let me tell you why that was so beautiful. Riding the horse in the desert, it was complete silence. Like, it was 5 of us on this trail. 4 of us, we all stayed in Airbnb together, and one of my childhood best friends, and then her 2 friends, and then me, and then the tour guide. But there were times on the trail where, like, it was so quiet and so relaxing, you could literally fall asleep on the trail. Like, that's how calm it was. Just beautiful. Um, and hiking in the woods. So I don't really like hiking. My feet be hurting really bad. Like, y'all, I'm trying to lose this weight so I can get back in shape, because my feet be killing me, y'all. And on top of that, I'm diabetic. So I was nervous, but I decided to take a chance and go ahead and go hiking in the desert. I ate lunch in the desert. I journaled in the desert. It was absolutely mind blowing, y'all. So I think we all owe it to ourselves. Traveling does not have to be expensive. And I'm actually going to bring my cousin onto the show, and we're going to give you guys a couple tips and tricks on how we kind of travel, what we do, because traveling doesn't have to be expensive. You also don't have to take a 7 to 9 day trip. You can take shorter trips, which when I very first started traveling, that's what I was doing. I was taking shorter trips that were a little bit cheaper so I could travel more. So I might take 2 or 3 trips in a month, but they might only be 2 to 3 days. The only thing with that is you might get there and you might experience like, oh man, I wish I would have had more time to do this. But that's why you have to travel so you can learn that and figure that out. Like you have to figure out how you like to travel because I've also been to places where I've spent 8 to 9 days and I'm like, that was way too long to be in that one place. Um, so my right now, my thing is I like to travel for at least 7 days. That's a good amount for me. Because I can rest and explore and still have the in between time. So that's definitely a thing that you have to figure out. But we are definitely going to talk more about this. We are going to continue the conversation until into next week. Like I said, this is a new series. I'm really excited about this series because it's different from the first series in a sense of in the first series it was very kind of emotional. Um, we talked a lot about grief. We talked a lot about personal self growth, but with traveling heals the soul. What I want to do is I want to talk about self growth, but I want to talk about actual activity, which is traveling, that can actually help us with our self growth because without traveling, y'all, there's a lot of stuff that I just would not have known, and there's a lot of stuff that I just would not have even realized without experiencing the traveling. So, next week, come back Monday at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern on Total Entertainment Radio. You will only find me here on Mondays. Make sure you are tuning in to it. Every Monday I will be here. Like I said, yeah, I have been sick and I wanted to make sure that I did not miss the first Monday of 2022. Y'all, I could not do that because we definitely have some things that we need to celebrate. So we're gonna take one more break and when we come back, we're gonna wrap up. Welcome back to the Healing She Got Faith show. It is Lily. She got faith, your local self love advocate, the founder of Healing She Got Faith. So, we started a new series today. Whoop, whoop. It is also 2022. Wow, y'all, we made it. I want y'all to celebrate that. We definitely made it. So that is super, super, super exciting. We are going to speak this into existence as being a good year. I am not going to say it's going to be our year. I'm going to say this is going to be the year of us discovering whatever it is that we're supposed to discover. On Facebook, I put, I'm going to catch you on the other side and remember to love you the way you love the world. That is my life quote. Yes. So, just take a moment to celebrate that. I hope, honestly, I hope out of today's episode, you got encouraged to go find a flight. You got encouraged to book something. You got encouraged to plan a trip. You guys, like, you deserve it. So I'm excited to continue this series of Traveling Hills of Soul. I'm excited to see people booking flights and getting that life experience that we all need. So before we go, I want to mention a couple of things. My family is still doing a dog toy drive in honor of our dog that we lost last month, Dexter Wexter. We are doing Dexter Brings You a Toy drive where we will be donating to non-kill shelters and shelters with elderly dogs. So if you would like to donate, please hit me up at info@healingsheGotFaith.com. You can also find me on any social media platform and just reach out to me and I will let you know a drop off or if you want to donate. Also, too, we have launched a book shop through bookshop.org. So if you all like to read, you can actually go to bookshop.org/shop/healing she got faith and we have our very own bookshop right now. I have 4 lists on there that you can check out, but you can search for anywhere. You can search for any book and definitely order you some books through there. I'm so excited about this. I love reading. Like I told y'all before, I probably have enough books to have my own library. So this was a really huge accomplishment. Healing She Got Faith is doing some amazing things, y'all, and I want y'all to be part of that. Yes. So, and the last thing is you can still get your Everyone Has a Story book bundle at on my website, healingshegotfaith.org. And with the book bundle, you get the novel, you get the planner, and you get a guided journal. So it is the beginning of January, y'all. I have a 12-month planner that you can get. It is not filled in. I left that for y'all, but it is really cute and inspirational. So go ahead and get your book bundle. I will sign the novel and I will ship it out to y'all. So stop playing and go get it. No, but I just want to thank my listeners for coming up and showing out every week. You guys continue to send me love and feedback, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, everybody who catches the replays on the podcast and on YouTube. And then shout out to my team at Total Entertainment Radio. They have had my back since day one. You will only catch me here on Mondays at 3 p.m. Central. That's 4 p.m. Eastern. So definitely make sure you tune in and check it out, y'all. Listen, I'm going to catch y'all next week. Okay. It is 2022, y'all. Happy New Year. Rest in peace, Betty White. I'm actually going to end with a Betty White quote. Let me pull it up on my phone. Everybody needs a passion that's what keep life blah blah. Everybody needs a passion. That's what keeps life interesting. If you live without passion, you can go through life without leaving any footprints. From Betty White's book, If You Ask Me, and of course you won't. Yeah, let's be like Betty, okay? She ran that race. She understood her assignment. Let's go ahead and be like her. Always remember to love you the way you love the world, y'all. I love you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me here, and I'm gonna catch you Monday at 3 p.m. Central on Total Entertainment Radio. Bye, y'all.